Is the human mind a blank slate or a vessel imbued with divine wisdom? This question has sparked debates among psychologists for centuries. Welcome to the grand stage of intellectual discourse. I am Masood Saeed, a social science psychologist and the founder of the mind characterization technique, personally guiding you through this video. Today, we delve into the captivating realm of psychology, a world where the mysteries of the human mind are dissected and examined. I immerse myself into the ways people communicate, focusing on their choice of words, their dreams, their body language, even their preferences in colors and food to, to build a comprehensive character profile. This unique method, integrating various psychological theories and practices, provides in depth insights, personality, and behavior. However, psychology is a multi-dimensional field. Views exist, and no single approach can claim to have all the answers. One key debate is between Western psychology and Islamic psychology. Western psychology, rooted in empirical science, views the mind as a complex machine, as famously described by philosopher Rene Descartes, as res cogitans, the essence of Western psychology. On the other hand, psychology, based on spiritual principles, perceives the mind as an entity intertwined with the soul, as demonstrated in the Quran, Surah Al Baqarah 2286, teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Sahih Bukhari. This intellectual duel between such distinct ideologies promises to be exhilarating. As we analyze the strengths and weaknesses of both, we'll dive into this intellectual contest, confronting dichotomies with evidence from different eras. For example, consider the body of research on mindfulness, a practice rooted in Buddhist philosophy yet validated by modern psychology. Nonetheless, no perspective can claim complete knowledge. Each approach, Western or Islamic, has something valuable to offer, granting unique perspectives to better comprehend the human mind and its complexities. Complexities. As we navigate this debate, remember, the truth often lies where we least expect it. This journey of discovery will draw upon wisdom from both religious and secular sources, including the insightful commentary of renowned Muslim scholar Ibn Sina on the interconnectedness of the mind and soul. If you found this YouTube video engaging, don't forget to click like and subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions like this. Before delving into the myriad perspectives, let's take a moment to pay due respect to the history of psychology and its originator from the Muslim world, Al-Hakim Abu Abdullah al-Balkhi. Psychology, as we perceive it in the contemporary world, is relatively new. Nonetheless, its inception is deeply rooted in the ancient philosophical realms, with prominent figures like Al-Hakim Abu Abdullah al-Balkhi playing instrumental roles. Born in 850 AD in Balkh, then part of Khorasan, now located in present-day Afghanistan, he is universally recognized as trailblazer in mental health and psychology. His work was largely based on the individual's role within society and how societal structures shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This was indeed a paradigm shift from the introspective psychology of his era, which was focused on the individual's inner world. Al-Balkhi's concepts, although centuries old, find echoes in the theories of subsequent psychologists like Wilhelm Wundt, Sigmund Freud, and even Al-Farabi, as the Quran, Surah Az-Zumar 39.9 states, "Are those who know equal to those who do not know?" Al-Farabi, a distinguished philosopher and psychologist, once quoted from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, saying, "He who knows himself knows his Lord." This quote underlines his belief in the significance of self knowledge in one's spiritual growth, a principle that aligns with al Balki's approach to psychology. Moreover, al Farabi's work, which includes his treatise Al Madina al Fadila, or The Virtuous City, mirrors al Balki's emphasis on the power of societal structures on an individual's psyche. Wundt, often labeled as the father of modern psychology, similarly highlighted the role of society and culture in molding our minds. Freud, as hinted earlier, dived deep into the unconscious mind, akin to al Balki and al Farabi in their philosophical journeys. Contemporary evidence supporting the influence of these thinkers can be found in the emphasis on socio-cultural factors in psychological research. For example, the emergence of community psychology and the stress on cultural competence in therapy illustrate the endurance of their ideas. As the prominent Muslim scholar Ibn Qayyim once said, "Truly in the heart there is a void that cannot be removed except with the company of Allah." Their contributions to the field manifest the considerable influence of the Islamic world on psychology. It's clear that the roots of psychology are intrinsically intertwined with Islamic thought, setting the stage for an engaging discourse. As we journey further, it's vital to remember these historical links and the profound impact they've made on our understanding of the human psyche. In the red corner, we have Western psychology, asserting that our minds are shaped by our experiences and environment. Intriguing, isn't it? Let's delve deeper into this perspective. Western psychology fundamentally emphasizes the role of the individual's environment and experiences in influencing their mental states. This view is heavily inspired by the groundbreaking works of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, two towering figures in psychology. Freud, hailed as the father of psychoanalysis, postulated that our unconscious minds are a vault of repressed thoughts and desires that play a crucial role in shaping our behavior. He famously stated, "The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water." His words suggest that a significant part of our mental activity remains hidden from our conscious understanding. On the other side, Carl Jung, Freud's renowned pupil, put forth a slightly different perspective. Jung introduced the idea of the collective, an accumulation of experiences that all humans share, irrespective of culture or era. He posited the collective, unconscious, consists of the sum of the instincts and their correlates, the archetypes. This statement implies that our behavior and thought processes are influenced not only by our personal experiences, but also by the shared experiences of all humanity. Both Freud and Jung, in their manners, highlighted the impact of unseen forces, whether repressed desires or shared experiences, in molding our mental makeup. Modern studies provide compelling evidence to back their theories. For instance, research in the field of cognitive behavioral therapy has demonstrated how unconscious biases can lead to irrational thoughts and behaviors, indirectly affirming Freud's theories. Similarly, Jung's concept of the collective unconscious has been supported by studies showing universal patterns in dreams and myths across cultures. This concept has formed the bedrock of Western psychology, leading to various therapeutic methodologies such as psychoanalysis and cognitive behavioral therapy. Thus, Western psychology, with its emphasis on experiences and the unconscious mind, Mind posits a convincing viewpoint about the nature of our psyche, but it raises questions. Is this the full scope of the human mind? Can our mental life be solely explained by our experiences and the functioning of the unconscious? Does this framework leave any space for spirituality, morality, and divinity? A persuasive argument indeed, but does it paint the entire picture of the human psyche? In the blue corner stands the Islamic psychology, an advocate of the notion that our minds are not tabula rasa, but receptacles brimming with divine wisdom. This statement ushers us into the of Islamic psychology, the belief that our psychological and emotional states are intimately connected to our spiritual health. To gain a more profound understanding of Islamic psychology, we delve into the writings of eminent Islamic scholars and refer to the teachings within the Quran and tafsir. Al Ghazali, a paramount Islamic philosopher and theologian, asserted, "The heart is like a bird, love as its head, and its two wings are hope and fear." Al Ghazali, may Allah be pleased with him, is outlining the crucial role emotions play in the human psyche, identifying a nexus between love, hope, fear, and spiritual enlightenment. At the crux of this philosophy, we discern a deep resonance with Surah Al Anfal from the Quran, which pronounces, "It is He who sent down tranquility into the hearts, the believers." Moving forward, we encounter Ibn Sina, a polymath esteemed as the precursor to early modern medicine. He championed the notion that the soul is an immaterial substance that does not enter the body from without, but originates within it. This perspective, the Islamic belief that the soul and the mind are not separate entities, but deeply intertwined aspects of our existence. A hadith from Sahih Muslim resonates with this idea, stating, "Every child is born on natural disposition." Islamic psychology also underscores the principle of fitra, or innate disposition. This concept proposes that every human being is born with an inherent grasp of morality and monotheism. This is reflected in Ar-Rum from the Quran stating, "So direct your face toward the religion, inclining to truth. Adhere to the fitrah of Allah upon which He has created all people." Contemporary validation. Supporting these views can be found in the writings of religious philosophers like Sayyid Hossein Nasr, who contends that the innermost essence of human beings is fundamentally spiritual. Islamic also attributes significant importance to the potency of prayer and spirituality in healing the mind. It advocates the belief that forging deeper connection with our Creator can offer solace amid emotional upheaval and mental distress. It's evident that Islamic psychology propounds a comprehensive approach to mental health, viewing the mind, body, and soul as interconnected fragments of a larger entity. It's a method that prompts us to introspect, to tap into the divine wisdom that resides within each us. This presents a stark contrast, but let's delve deeper to ascertain which perspective is more compelling. We have now set the stage for understanding the opposition between two giants of thought, Western and Islamic psychology. C.G. Jung, a leading figure in Western psychology, once said, "The mind is the intermediary between the world and the divine." This quote perfectly encapsulates the Western view of the mind as a complex system of cognitive processes, a product of evolution and natural selection, wired for survival and shaped by environmental factors. In contrast, Islamic scholar Al Ghazali wrote in his seminal work, The Elixir of Happiness, "The heart of man is a spiritual substance. the actions of which are intelligence and knowledge, a mirror in which the infinite forms of the universe are reflected. This illustrates the Islamic belief that the human mind is not merely a collection of cognitive processes, but a vessel for the divine spark. Recent research supports both perspectives. The empirical evidence of a genetic predisposition to mental health conditions, as presented in the Nature Genetics journal, substantiates Western psychology's view of biological determinism. Meanwhile, a study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that individuals who hold spiritual beliefs tend to have better mental health, supporting Islamic psychology's emphasis on the soul and spiritual interventions. The ideological showdown continues in the realm of human behavior. Western psychology views behavior through the lens of biological determinism and environmental conditioning, invoking the nature versus nurture debate. Are we products of our genes or our environments? Islamic psychology introduces a third element into this equation, the soul. It asserts that human behavior is influenced not just by nature or nurture, but also by the state of one's soul. In terms of treatment, Western psychology relies heavily on cognitive behavioral therapies and pharmaceutical interventions. The success of cognitive behavioral therapy in treating depression, as documented in the American Journal of Psychiatry, is a testament to Western psychology's approach. Islamic psychology, on the other hand, advocates spiritual interventions and the cultivation of moral virtues. A study from the Journal of Clinical Psychology shows that spirituality based interventions can significantly decrease anxiety symptoms, lending credence to the Islamic psychology's methods. The battle lines are drawn. Who will emerge victorious? As Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, once said, the mind is an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The exploration of the unknown depths continues. Islamic psychology, a gem often overlooked, brings profound insights to this debate. As we delve deeper into the vast expanse of Islamic psychology, we realize that it's not merely a subsidiary of psychology, but a holistic approach to comprehending the human mind, heart, and soul. Unlike its Western counterpart, Islamic psychology doesn't perceive humans as mere byproducts of their environment or genetic makeup. Indeed, it acknowledges the spiritual essence, the divine spark within every individual. This is deeply rooted in Islamic teachings, such as the Quranic verse, so set thou thy face steadily and truly to the faith, Allah's handiwork, according to the pattern on which He has mankind. The renowned Muslim psychologist Malik Badri once said, in Islamic psychology, we believe in the existence of the soul and its influence on human behavior. We consider the soul as the essence of a person which cannot be reduced to physical or mental processes. This focus on the spiritual essence is what sets Islamic psychology apart, providing a more comprehensive understanding of the human psyche. Psychology also recognizes the interconnected nature of the human experience. This mirrors the hadith narrated by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The believers, in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy, are just like one body. When any limb aches, the whole body reacts with sleeplessness and fever. This interconnected viewpoint allows for a deeper understanding of human behavior, making Islamic psychology a potent tool for addressing mental health issues. More so, the strength of Islamic psychology lies in its foundation on divine wisdom. It draws from the teachings of the Quran and Hadith, which offer timeless insights into human nature. As the Islamic scholar Al Ghazali eloquently stated, the soul is an immense realm. To know it, you must study the science of the heart, which is the kernel of all sciences. Psychology's strengths are numerous. Its holistic approach, emphasis on spirituality, understanding of interconnectedness, and grounding in divine wisdom. These qualities equip it to delve deeper into the human psyche and provide more comprehensive solutions to mental health issues. This is echoed in recent studies showing that integrating a spiritual component into therapy can enhance mental health outcomes. Yet, let's pause for a moment. While Islamic psychology provides a more comprehensive understanding of the human mind, we are left with a pressing question. Islamic psychology offers a more comprehensive understanding of the human mind. But is this enough to win the debate? As the dust settles, it becomes clear that Islamic psychology brings something unique to the table. It's a perspective that merges the spiritual and the empirical, the divine and the human, setting forth a comprehensive, holistic approach to understanding the human psyche. This approach finds its roots in the teachings of the Quran, like Surah Al Isra, verse 85, which says, "And they ask you about the soul. Say, the soul is one of the commands of my Lord, and you are not given aught of knowledge but a little." The triumph of Islamic psychology lies not in its dismissal of Western psychology, but in its ability to expand upon it elements of spirituality and morality that the latter often overlooks. The revered Islamic philosopher Al Ghazali emphasized this when he stated, "Knowledge of self is the key to the knowledge of God." Let's dive a bit, shall we? Western psychology has made remarkable strides in understanding the human mind. It has given us cognitive behavioral therapy, psychoanalysis, and a myriad of other therapeutic approaches. But where it falls short is in its often reductionist view of the human experience, focusing on symptoms rather than the whole person. On the other hand, Islamic psychology, with its roots in the teachings of the Quran and Hadith, offers a more holistic view of the human experience. It considers not just the mind, but also the soul, the heart, and their interconnectedness. It acknowledges the role of spirituality and morality in mental health, concepts often sidelined in Western psychology. Consider the concept of tazkiyah, the purification of the soul. It's a fundamental principle in Islamic psychology, underscored by a hadith from Sahih al Bukhari. Indeed, Allah does not look at your appearance or wealth, but rather He looks at your hearts and actions. This emphasis on spiritual growth and moral development in achieving mental well being is a dimension of the human experience that is often overlooked in Western psychology. Moreover, Islamic psychology's emphasis community and social responsibility adds another layer of depth to its understanding of mental health. It recognizes that our well being is not just an individual matter, but is also tied to the well being of our community and society. The evidence, both Islamic and Western sources, supports this. Numerous studies, such as a survey published in the Journal of Community Psychology, have highlighted the positive of spirituality, community involvement, and a holistic approach on mental health. The winner is clear. Islamic psychology, with its holistic and divine insights, reigns supreme. It acknowledges the complexity of the human experience in a way that Western psychology often falls short of, offering a comprehensive approach that bridges the gap between the spiritual and the empirical, the individual and the community, the human and the divine. So, what can we take away from this engrossing debate? Let's mull over the insights garnered from this stimulating discourse. We commence this dialogue with the singular intention of unraveling the labyrinth that is the human mind, juxtaposing two significant perspectives: the Western atheist psychology and Islamic psychology. From the Western viewpoint, we encountered arguments firmly rooted in empirical science. As Rogers, one of the luminaries of humanistic psychology, puts it aptly, the only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. This perspective revolves around observable behavior and quantifiable mental processes. It lays considerable emphasis on the individual and the immediate environment, taking into account factors like genetics and the power of conditioning. Research by James Watson and Rosalie Rayner on classical conditioning reflects this emphasis. On the other hand, Islamic psychology paints a holistic picture of the human mind. It extends beyond observable behavior or mental processes and includes the spiritual dimension of the human experience. As Imam al-Ghazali, a prominent Islamic philosopher, stated, "The heart is like a mirror. Do not prevent it from being broken. Its breakage is more dearer in the sight of its maker, God, than its safety." It underscores the interplay of the heart, the soul, and the intellect in shaping our behaviors, our decisions, and our overall well-being. Islamic psychology, steeped in the wisdom of the Quran and Hadith, offers an all-encompassing framework for understanding the human psyche. It addresses not only the mind, but also the heart and soul, thereby painting a thorough picture of the individual. A recent study in the Journal of Muslim Mental Health corroborates the efficacy of Islamic psychology in treating mental health disorders holistically. Throughout this debate, it became increasingly evident that Islamic psychology, with its focus on the holistic well-being of the individual and the community, provides a more encompassing view of the human experience. It goes beyond diagnosing and treating mental health issues. It's about nurturing the heart, enlightening the soul, and stimulating the intellect. It's about fostering a sense of peace, contentment, and purpose in life. This discourse wasn't about establishing one as right and the other as wrong. It was about examining different perspectives, understanding their strengths, and recognizing that the learning never ceases. However, when weighed on the scales of comprehensiveness and spiritual grounding, Islamic psychology seemed to tip the balance in its favor. As we wrap up, let's remember this profound quote by Imam Ghazali: "Knowledge without action is wastefulness, and action without knowledge is foolishness." With this in mind, let's continue our journey towards understanding the human mind with Islamic psychology as our beacon of light. Before we wrap up this enlightening journey, let's talk about the importance of sharing knowledge. As we've learned, both Western and Islamic psychology underscore the significance of learning and evolving. So, let's embrace this ethos and spread the wisdom we've gained today. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button. It's a small gesture, but it shows your support and helps others discover this content. Moreover, remember the value of shared wisdom. If you know someone who would find this conversation informative, make sure you share this video with them. After all, as the Hadith says, The best amongst you is the one who learns the Quran and teaches it. While this quote specifically refers to the Quran, the underlying principle of sharing knowledge is universal. Also, if you want to continue exploring such thought provoking topics, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We aim to blend academic knowledge with an optimistic and engaging presentation style, and we'd love for you to join us on this journey of learning and understanding. In the end, the quest to unravel the human mind is a shared journey, and every like, share, and subscribe brings us one step closer to a more enlightened and empathetic world. Let's keep the dialogue open, the perspectives diverse, and the quest for knowledge alive. Thank you for being a part of this enlightening discussion, and we hope to see you in our next video. Remember, as Imam Ghazali said, knowledge without action is wastefulness. So let's put our newfound knowledge into action by engaging with this content and sharing it with others. Before we say our goodbyes, here's a quick reminder for you. On your screen right now, you can see an animated like button. Go ahead and give it a click if you found our discussion enlightening. It's a small gesture, but it means a lot to us. Now notice the share button next to it. Clicking this button will open up a number of options where you can share this video, be it Facebook, Twitter, or even a direct message to a friend. Remember, spreading knowledge is an act of kindness. Lastly, you'll see a subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure you click it and turn on notifications. This way, you'll be the first to know when we dive into another intriguing topic. Remember, your support helps us bring more enlightening content your way. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.